Halloween is upon us again, and without realising going into it, I have chosen a game with a curious similarity to last year's review. Last October I reviewed Necronomicon: The Dawning of Darkness, a game released on PC and PlayStation, where the PlayStation version was a European-only release, published by Wanadu Edition. This year's game, Curse the Eye of Isis, was released on PC, Xbox and PlayStation 2, the PlayStation 2 version being a European-only release by Wanadu Edition. And it doesn't stop there. I already had next year's game in mind. I won't say which one it is, as I'll get to it eventually, but after some sorting the other day, I looked at it and guess what? Wanadu Edition. So thank you Wanadu Edition for these European PlayStation exclusives. It keeps me in business. Well, not really. But in order to spread things out, I'll pick something else for 2017. My weird coincidences aside, let's get back to the game in question. Developed by Asylum Entertainment, Curse the Eye of Isis was released in 2004 as a budget title. That's not surprising looking through Asylum Entertainment's release catalogue. A survival horror really stands out from the rest of their usual child-friendly fare of Horrid Henry, Teletubby and Sabrina the Teenage Witch games. This is the only mature game they made. Doing something different is risky, so let's see how well they handle themselves in this genre. (1890) London. The British Museum is preparing to unveil its new Egyptian exhibit to the public, including the centrepiece, the Eye of Isis. The exhibition is due to open the very next day, but things suddenly go awry as others have different plans. With people mysteriously dying, the police are quickly on the scene and close up the museum. But that doesn't stop our first protagonist, Darian Dane. Darian has been invited to the museum for a preview, but with all this police presence, how will he ever get inside? With the cunning technique of walking through the front door. That's some damn fine police work there, guys.
Wow, what a mansion!
Once inside, Darian starts looking for whom he received the invite, Victoria Sutton, who will eventually become the second playable character. For anyone who's played a survival horror ever around the late 90s and early 2000s will immediately be familiar with both the look and feel of this. As this was Asylum Entertainment's one and only attempt at survival horror, I guess they wanted to stay with what was routine at the time. An old museum at night with hardly anyone around makes for a creepy atmosphere. Nice and dark, but not too dark. Seen this screen before? To get the recommended brightness level, you are to turn down your screen's brightness until the colours below the red line are no longer visible. Let's try that. Obviously adjusting the setting on my monitor won't show up here, so let's do it in the editing software. Ah, that's better. Now I can see nothing at all. I know you're going for a creepy look, but when you're losing picture detail, I personally think that's too low. Anyway, I'm tangenting. The lack of music with just the sound of your footsteps and the atmospheric audio is a nice touch. Methodically checking every nook and cranny as you do is not as necessary as it used to be. Items do twinkle as usual, but Asylum have added that oh so useful feature of having the character look in the direction of an item of interest. This certainly eliminates the old practice of hammering the use button whilst rubbing up against the scenery. Locked doors? You bet. In a situation like this, having so many locked doors makes sense with the building in police lockdown. Although simply hanging the padlock over the doorknob is not how that works.
Poor devil.
Ah, a rainy back alley with 2 dead policemen. Oh, that's normal for this era, probably Jack the Ripper or something. Oh shit, what the hell is that? Fortunately, one of the officers has a truncheon, which is the melee weapon for the duration of the game and is far more useful than it should be, but I'll get to that. Unlike Aztec, the curse is not a secret and is immediately apparent from the start. The statue of Isis does not take kindly to being disturbed, and releases its wrath in the form of this toxic-looking fart cloud. And because of this, you have 2 gauges, a health and a curse bar. Touching the curse will increase the curse bar, and the higher that goes, the faster your health depletes. But no matter, an ancient curse can be remedied by drinking menthol. Recovering your health is done with smelling salts, but on a first playthrough you have to figure these 2 things out yourself, because the manual lacks information. It tells you about the 2 status bars but not how to replenish them. It tells you have additional item storage but not how to access it. These mummy enemies will occasionally drop amulets, but it took me up to the second boss fight to finally figure out what they were for.
Mr. Darian Day,
Oh, Jiminy Nutsack, don't do that.
I am honored to have worked with your father on his many expeditions in my country.
This is Abdul Wahid, not Jiminy Nutsack. Abdul has been working with Victoria and the museum in preparation for the exhibit, and would advise Darian and Victoria throughout the game. But his main purpose is your additional item storage and save point. Fortunately, he doesn't stay in one place. He shows up periodically as you progress, but in this curious way as if he already knows you're there, like he knows where you're going to be. He even has his own musical sting.
It seems that Sutton was
I could improve that.
these papers.
As if by magic, the shopkeeper appeared.
What are you, Abdul? Are you a manifestation of the curse? Anyway, where's this elusive Victoria?
Victoria? Is that you?
Oh, Darian.
I was told where to find you by someone called Abdul Wahid.
It takes a good 2 to 3 hours to finally play as her. Darian succumbs to the curse about 3 times for plot convenience, and this is where Victoria takes over. One of the blurbs on the box states, control 2 characters, Darian and Victoria, each possessing unique abilities. They do not possess unique abilities. When taking control of Victoria, she handles the same, can use the same items and weapons, and can access the same places. The only thing I notice is that she runs slightly faster, I think. This brings me on to navigation, because guess what has a problem again? The map. What initially appears to be a nice, simple, clear map has one annoying flaw. Well, 2 actually, but the one where the map doesn't show up for a few minutes after loading the game is clearly a glitch. This is 1890, so the map is supposed to be drawn on paper, so you can't pen it around. In order to see a different part of the map, you have to move closer to that part of the map, which kind of defeats the purpose. The overall story arc follows the same basic premise as The Lord of the Rings. A long-buried artifact is found, taken far away, unaware of its power, shit hits the fan and so it's decided to take it back to whence it came. And that place is the Pyramid of Osiris. After escaping the museum and catching a train, our trio must journey to Egypt via a cargo steamer. Egypt finally offers some new variety in enemies, and some actual puzzles. There were the odd basic ones back in London, but now you get to activate 7,000-year-old mechanisms that would totally still work today, because screw historical preservation. It's 1819, damn it, and we're British! Queen Victoria's on the throne, the British Empire continues to rise with a rich naval history. We navigate the 7 seas, taking whatever we ballyhell like, planting flags everywhere like we own the place, treating foreigners like dirt and taking whatever they hold dear so we can gawk at it from behind glass. And if one of those treasures happen to contain a curse, well... perhaps we deserve that. Curse the Eye of Isis is nothing special and follows many survival horror tropes. It was a budget title after all. But that didn't put me off. I found its uncomplicated classic approach refreshing. There's satisfaction in its simplicity. I played it on normal mode and it was quite easy, so maybe difficult mode would be better for others. And you know it's easy when you can take out several people wielding shotguns with a truncheon without taking much damage. Fortunately, Curse isn't hard to get hold of as the PC version is available on Steam for only £1.99. So give this a play, give it some respect, as we can learn from its message to respect other cultures, the dead, and just to leave things be.